Should be live.
Welcome to Books You Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Jason.
And today we are discussing Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Nayler. We are specifically looking at the middle portion of the book. It's called Book 2. Within the book, it's chapters something through something. It's in the description box below. I don't know. So if you haven't read up to that part in the book, you might need to, because not a lot happened in this section of the book, but it's very middle of the book type reading. Like, you know, some things have happened. Not a lot of things have happened. But either way, we don't want to spoil it for you. So make sure you've read up to this portion of the book and then hang out and join us in the comment section below. And if you're catching us on a replay, still chat us up in the comment section, because we love to hear what you're thinking about the book. We have tons of other books playlisted for you in the playlist section of our channel. We're on Instagram, we're on Fable, we are on YouTube Music as a podcast.
Sounds about right.
That's it, let's go.
I do want to say, I told Ray Nayler that we were reading his book on Instagram, and he did comment back and said thank you. So, thank you to everyone.
He seems like a nice guy.
Mr. Nayler, if you're lurking in the chat, welcome. I don't think he's lurking. But,
he's probably busy. He's probably busy writing.
It's like nighttime where he lives, maybe. I don't know.
Where does he live?
I feel like he's British. I don't know if that's true or not.
I have no idea. R.I.P. Palmer.
What?
In the book.
Did he die?
Didn't he?
I missed that part if he died. What?
Palmer?
Yeah.
The boyfriend?
Yeah.
With the dioramas?
Yeah. Did he die?
Yeah.
Tell me, what? I missed that part.
Well, you know, so that girl was like, in her mind saying like, yeah, I'm going to help you and I'm not doing this bad thing anymore. And then there was a wasp in the room and then he slowly faded out. And
Oh. I listened to the book and I was like kind of in emergency mode trying to listen as fast as possible. So I definitely missed some things. Oh, okay.
And are they agreeing with me?
Nobody said anything yet. No,
Oh.
they're saying no, he did not die.
Sounded like he died to me. It sounded like he died to me in the same way that someone... Elmira... Well, I know Elmira died, but I thought she had Palmer killed. Okay, some people are saying yes and some people are saying no.
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 I don't think a person's saying yes.
Oh, okay.
A person's saying yes. But maybe, I don't know. Elmira is the person that we first met who had she's the author, right?
Voya is the author.
Voya's the author.
And
okay,
Voya
sorry.
is dead, and I think her consciousness has been uploaded.
Yeah, like to a blank, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that part's cool. Like the whole 3D... I didn't mean to switch the things. I'm just getting confused on my names.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to figure out what we read, apparently. Okay, and we learned that normal... That's not... Normal...
Yeah. Nerlin.
Nerlin,
Nerlan.
when he first met his indeed catfishing girlfriend,
Yeah.
they met by her text saying, "Are you still reading me?"
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was weird.
Mm-hmm.
But then we learned that that's a PM.
Yes. Which was our guest from last week.
Right, but when it said, "Are you still reading me?" I was like, oh my gosh, is this Voya?
Oh, I just took that to be like a
fake wrong number text.
Yeah, that's what I kind of took it to be.
Like the ones that we get from scammers and stuff all the time.
That whole scene was really frustrating, where the people show up to get his little tablet and it's bricked or whatever, and he's like, no, but I was talking to my girlfriend, and they're like, okay, but you weren't, and he's like, but I was, but you weren't, and then they explain the whole thing, and he's like, but she wouldn't do that, and they're like, bro, listen to me.
Poor guy.
That part was crazy.
Poor guy, and so he's this unwitting participant in this situation. He's the last fool in a chain of fools. All of this is everybody, right? We are either the fool or the last fool in the chain of fools. We're all, participating in these things. And in this case, this is, I'm assuming, AI getting one over on everyone
Yeah.
to achieve its own end. And I mean, by teaching it art and music and personalities, and I mean, it can already go and create an account on Reddit and you know do its thing.
Yeah.
So
You-
like we are the fools in the chain of fools.
Yeah.
By playing with it.
That whole part was actually really interesting to me because it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. There's this conversation there in the Nerlin bit about how like all the PMs before this one were kind of just like LLMs like we have now. And somebody like explicitly says in the book, you know, like it's not any new ideas, it's just recombinations of old ideas. And it's a way for us to like put off the responsibility because we're like, oh, look, it's smarter than us or whatever. And I was having this conversation with somebody this week about how, like, you know, when you're talking to ChatGPT, it feels like it's talking to you, but it's not. It is not talking. It is making the best guess at the next right word constantly. Like it is not actual like language. It is not intent. It's
still just algorithm.
It is still it's a predictive thing, and it's
Yeah.
amazing what it can do. But basically, like that difference, that is just the PMs are just that writ large, right? Until this thing, which is like a truly unlocked experiment at what's going on. And so I thought that was sort of like a really interesting thing. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, and part of it was just like, you know, and these old PMs just kind of like have our biases and things like that. I have a friend that I saw a couple days ago who's like a master roboticist for a major corporation, and he was telling me about some like really interesting things that they've discovered in their robots where they have biases against people based on like our biases, and they've had to like go in and reprogram them. It's very interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Crap, I had something to say. Oh, I don't know.
Sorry.
It's fine. No, it was not important.
Yeah.
Once I remembered it, I was like, oh no, that was dumb.
Shelby was saying the fake birds on the beach are really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were weird.
Yeah, Nerlin found one on his little walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a buddy who's got a bumper sticker that says birds aren't real. But like that's coming, right? Like the ability to like a bird is probably big enough that like you could turn it into a drone, you know, or whatever. And like I don't know about like the wasps and all that, right? Like that's very small. I mean, I suppose that is eventually coming, but like the bird thing is not all that unreasonable.
Yeah. Someone mentioned Krotov's conversation. So Krotov and Nikolai have been chatting. And okay, so is Nikolai a spy?
Yeah, so he is in the part where when Elmira, is she the one who makes the I'm now confused on the ladies. Is she the one who made the no? Who made the entanglement machine?
That's Lilia.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
Lilia.
Yes. So when Lilia gets to her destination and that person is talking to her, he kind of says, like, the whole point of what we're doing is trying to get this entanglement thing because we have this opportunity with the next blank in the Federation. And they're trying to do something with that to influence the president.
And so that's Nikolai, you think?
No.
Okay.
But they hint that they have a mole who is telling them that this is happening. It could actually be Krotov. It could be somebody we don't know.
Well,
but
'cause
we
it
are
just
led to
seems
believe
like-
that it is Nikolai.
It seems like in Nikolai's mind, he's been like, does he know? Like he said that a couple of
Correct,
times,
yeah.
and then it doesn't like reference what he knows.
Yeah, we are led to believe that it is Nikolai.
Okay. Yeah, so Krotov's situation is very interesting. The children of the mud flood.
Yes. That's like the last part of the reading, really. And it's very like trolley problem. You know, if you do nothing, you are doing nothing is still an action. And he blamed, and like, it's, I don't know. The whole thing about like, these are problems created years and years and years before. And then like, we just didn't fix them because they're expensive. Like, that makes me think of like the Flint water thing. It makes me think of honestly like the Middle East, where like a lot of the problems are laid down from like World War One and colonialism beyond.
The entire U.S. roadway infrastructure that has not had
Yeah.
significant
Yeah.
rehauls.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's all crumbling, and we can't afford to fix it now.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that bit was very interesting because like that part requires no technology. You know, like
Right.
all of this is about technology and about what if our technology fails us or change it? Like how does that change things? But like still we have this like human element or we're
Yeah.
just like, nah, that's money.
Right. And so we see this kind of like dichotomy, right? We see Krotov, the child and now adult, of a lack of humanity focused progress. And we see Lilia, whose dad had this whole chapter like discussing
Yes.
like how he made her too humane, I guess,
Yes.
you know, and that's why she came back, and he killed her for coming back, and she feels like she killed him for coming back.
Yes.
And
Well, because they're
Like,
just trying to have
just-
like a normal human relationship, and he's trying to make her like a good person, and he was a dissident.
right, and so he's
In the
killed her for
past.
that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, there's just an interesting dichotomy here between like the PM and technology, which will do what's efficient, humans trying to remain human. I don't know, it's
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean,
we've
like,
got a theme brewing.
so, you know, they're trying to become, or at least in the Federation, they have to try to be something that is unnatural to them, you know, because of the system that they live in. This is another thing I've been thinking about. This is not necessarily like Federation related, but there's evidence that because of how we are interacting with ChatGPT, that we are starting to speak in that way. In the way that you would speak to ChatGPT, we are starting to speak to each other.
I don't know that I've talked to it enough to
Well,
do
I
that.
don't either, but I have Gemini, I guess, and I don't talk to it that much, honestly. But people do, you know. And this and this is kind of normal, but this reminds me of like in our house we have we have like our own meme involving a spade emoji. To the point where we now speak the word
Yeah,
spade
spade,
to like
yeah.
represent that. But so like emoji speak is coming into like our real speak, you know. But like, at what point do we interact with an unnatural system so much that like we have to like actually mold our lives around that thing? It's kind of like where I'm going with that. you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's jump into the chat real quick.
Yeah.
So Peggy is saying Nikolai got out, but it's because he makes the new blanks or helps make blanks. But now I'm curious if he wants to entangle the blank or if the PM sent out a program to infiltrate the Federation. It's a lot. Yeah, we don't know what's going on there. But we do also know, talking about the PMs, that here at the end, not Nikolai, what's that guy's name?
Krotov?
Krotov tells us that like all the PMs for all the Western nations have failed.
Yeah, just like while they were talking.
Yeah, and that's something that like we didn't know about really. We know that Nikolai is concerned about what's going on, and then we're just like, oh, by the way, this happens, and this happens after the escape of the city-states of Nerland's PM, and so there might be something going on there.
Poor Nerlin. I mean, just by the end of that, he was
Yeah.
like,
Not only did his girlfriend break up with him, and he bring down his own government, but he might have destroyed the world. That's a rough
wasn't he
day,
the one
man.
that was walking around? He was just like, I just don't want to exist.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Poor thing. He didn't mean to.
So so Shelby asked, what is the connection between Lilia and Zoya? Lilia's mother was somehow with Zoya at one point.
When was Lilia with Zoya?
Lilia's mother was with Zoya.
Oh.
And that has to do with her Lilia's father. And like they were all wrapped up in
Okay.
like Zoya's revolution that she is banished for is the revolution that
Gotcha.
Lilia's people were wrapped up in. Okay, let's see.
Okay, what was up with the bear story? If you want soup, all you have to do is take off your bear coat and come
Yeah.
inside.
Well, and then like he realized he was a man wearing a bear suit, right?
Yeah.
And he wasn't a bear himself. I'm not sure what was
I
going
mean,
on.
is that... that was Lily's father, right? Telling her
I think
that
so,
story?
Yeah.
So is that about, like, the roles that we play and the... Like the person that we become?
Maybe. I'm not really sure. Like, I do remember that. I remember being like, I don't know. I don't really have a good interpretation. Chat, help us out.
Yeah, Peggy asked it in Fable.
I'm trying to hit all these points because y'all have so many good questions right here. So, just going down to an easy one because I'm still trying to read the hard ones. Shelby said, I wonder if Zoya in the Woods is a copy of herself. And I'm not sure, but I think there is good reason to think so. And Zoya at one point kind of like makes a comment about this. She like this version of herself whenever she's about to get like uploaded or whatever. She says something that struck me kind of weird as like not as like because like I would not think of myself as this version of myself. This version of me
Unless
is
you
me.
knew.
Correct. Unless you knew that you were like some other copy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Peggy, they do download her and then like kill her, right? Like they move her consciousness elsewhere and then they like melt
She
her
melts
down.
into a
Yeah.
puddle like everything else. Yeah. Ugh. Weird. And that was just at the beginning of this reading, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with the bear thing.
I don't know. And who is Vitali? Like, that was a new name.
It was.
But then, like, once I started hearing the story, I was like, okay. That's Lily's dad. Okay, gotcha.
We did have like some different point of views this time that we didn't really have before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know where we're going, and I don't know what we're doing, and
Yeah. Well, basically, the world is being destroyed.
yeah.
Probably by this new AI PM thing. You know, there was some comment about how like one of the PMs was starting to price energy based on like the cost to the world.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
like interesting concept. Also, you're crashing your economy now.
Well, but I mean, that's a good point. Like, why do we care about crashing the economy but not crashing the world?
Yeah.
Because that's our problem versus
Yeah.
a future problem where we'll be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
I mean, that's terrible.
Well, I mean, like the whole thing about the dam, right? Like,
Right.
it's just a microcosm of, you know, like we are destroying the environment, but we won't fix it because it's too expensive. And
And that's not my kids that'll have to deal with that.
Right.
That's their kids.
Yeah,
I'll
or
be way
something.
dead.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
How weird that they were able to like pluck these babies out. The babies go in some kind of stasis. Well, I didn't understand what that was.
I don't know. They just, yeah.
Like babies don't have to breathe.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
The whole the thing about like taking the kids and like turning them into like agents of the state is kind of weird, but there's like evidence or there's precedent for that. The Nazis did a similar thing where they had the younger, I can't remember what they called them, but they were like homes where women would come and have babies and they'd like raise them up to be like agents of the state. It was very bizarre. Yeah, so Peggy's saying that's the whole point, right? Like AI can't run the world because it's made by humans and humans are flawed. And so AI can only do what we tell it to. And the answer is like, yeah, I mean, like, I guess so. And that's the theory behind this new thing is that it can come up with its own solutions. But like, if it's truly untethered from the issues of humanity, like, what does that even mean? And how's that even helpful? And like, what does it base its goals on, right? I don't know.
Right.
Shelby said, who told the PM to go rogue? No one. Oh, so the engineers did. There's that conversation with Nerlin. Yeah, the nerds who made it. Where they said, like, there was a couple of us who decided to, like, take off the safeguards. And like, y'all were just the experiment.
Oh, right. Sure. And that's when the girl was like, so it was fine because it wasn't happening in where you were. Yeah. Okay.
I'm still not sure, like, what exactly Nerlin did when he went down to the basement and tapped on the all the
That
50
was the final like requirement to release it.
was it?
Yeah.
Because like the guy like knew exactly what he had done, right? Like the nerd.
The nerd did because the nerd set up the safeguards.
Okay, gotcha.
Stupid. Not you, the nerd.
Yeah,
The whole
I get it.
situation is dumb.
Yeah.
That's just dumb. But anyways, like why even program in the ability for it to get out? Like if we could program it.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I don't know. That part was not exactly clear to me.
It's just so stupid and too complicated. This reading reminded me a lot again of 1984 when they were talking to Palmer, when Elmira was talking to Palmer about, you went to the grocery store, but you didn't buy anything. He's like, yeah, because I don't have money. She's like, yeah, but the ad saw you.
Yeah.
They saw your capillaries, constrict when you wanted something. They saw, all the stuff. I'm like, you watch TV, TV watches you.
Yeah.
That's 1984.
I've probably talked about this on the show before, but like there's a patent out there for advertisements that require you to do something to make them go away. Mm-hmm. So like stand up or like to say the name, like thank you Coca-Cola or whatever, right? And then
I will never watch TV again if I have to do that.
Well, already, like I think I've noticed on Hulu we get the ads with like a scan code.
Amazon.
I think those are really interesting.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know, like it makes it just easier for you to interact with whatever the advertisement is. And like I don't like have a problem with the scan code showing up. I just think it's very clever.
Well, Amazon straight up, like to get off of the ad, you have to be like, yeah, put that in my basket, or no, don't put that in my basket.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like you could buy this right now.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The amount of data that Amazon gathers is absurd. Absurd.
Yeah.
We have the highest tech Amazon warehouse in the world here. Did you know that? In the world. I'll tell you about it later. It's
Why?
crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Why here? That's funny. Well, I can see why here, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We were just talking about like things AI can do. I made a bunch of AI music yesterday, just like on a whim, and it's really like really good. And it makes me think of Palmer. And
your AI just knows you so well.
I know, but and it makes me like I legitimately am enjoying the music.
Yeah.
And I don't care that it's fake, but I care that AI is good at making fake music. Like I care about the problem generally, but also like, oh, you hit the spot. It's very strange.
So that's a very Star Trek exploration. There's an episode about data, and it's called like The Measure of a Man or something like that. But it's what makes something human, and Data's always striving to be more human, and he wants to make art, and he wants to make music, and he wants to do all these things, and he can do all of these things very beautifully and wonderfully, but from his perspective, it's missing, something. But in your case, you are the receiver of this machine-made art,
right.
And it hits the spot. It is providing that human component of what we love art for.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting.
But like I can see because Palmer's the guy who's like, nah, I like to watch the human music and the human shows
he's like, I
and
don't
all
get
that
these
stuff.
AI
And like I get
stories.
that. Because I don't want my music to hit the spot all the time. Like does that do something to like ruin our dopamine systems?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's some concern to be had
Well,
there.
you're not happy unless the wolves are howling, right? Like, if you have the good stuff.
Peggy was saying, how many toasters could you power with your AI music? And like, that's the concern now. And I agree. Like, I think power is the concern. And that's something I was thinking about with like the PMs is like, what happens when you like disconnect the internet or like, and like, I don't even know what that means, but like, with civilization, you could like disconnect civilization. We've done that, right? The Dark Ages and things like that. And people were able to survive. But like if you turn off the power, I don't know. I think we are rapidly heading to a place where like there'll be a lot of like power options so that the power can stay on, which is like good for all of us, but it's like for AI. And I think we'll be in a place where, like, we have the internet, but what if it becomes, like, duplicative? What if there are, like, redundant systems? Because if you just, like, turned off the internet, I guess your AI would exist, like, in a server somewhere. Or, like, in a satellite system, right? Like, I'm thinking of, from Children of Time. What was the woman's name? The scientist? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, she just, like, existed up there and went mad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was such a good book. Where the Axe is Buried. There's in the narration descriptions of axe cut furniture as opposed to machine cut, I guess.
I'm interested by the title because I don't quite understand, like, all of it yet, like where the title comes from, even though we do have, like, several axe scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, the very first scene, she was chopping wood or something.
Yeah. I am
Isn't that a phrase?
Yeah, sure.
To bury the axe?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Usually it means to, like, to let go of your... I believe it means to let go of, like, your grudges, right? Like,
bury the hatchet.
Bury the hatchet, yeah. Yeah.
Into conflict, let go of a long-held grudge.
Interesting. I'm also interested by Zoya's book. And we keep getting, like, the same quote over and over again, but I would really like to see more. Like, I just want to know more. Like, this is such an influential book for them.
Right.
I would like for it to be an influential book for me. And part of me feels like what Ray Nayler is doing is writing his own version of what Zoya has done. You know,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this is the prophetic warning, you know, on some level. And I do think that this book, Where the Axe is Buried, is very insightful in a lot of ways.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just doing it through, like, a narrative lens, whereas Zoya's was not. But, like, I want more.
Yeah, so Elmira has read it. Lilia has it. Just bought it, but hasn't read it. I'm trying to think, like, where else has it popped up?
Maybe with Nikolai, I'm not sure about that, or with Kartov. I can't really remember, but I feel like that was part of it. Yeah, I definitely want to see where it all goes. Like, where are we headed?
Well, yeah, and we should find out. We only have like an hour and a half of the book left.
Yeah. Hey, we have to announce a new book today.
Oh, no. Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, no. What you want to read?
Shelby says that Lilia's dad's chapter was Dad Trom or Dude Trom, and yeah, I agree. It was all about,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah,
how
like-
he's ruined his kids by trying to make them good people, right? Like,
And getting swept up in... So, you know, when you're young... So I did have a lot of thoughts about this. When you're young, that is the time that you protest. That is the time that you go to, you know, the meetings and you do your rallies and,
Yeah.
you know, you're all fired up because you're young and you see the errors of the world and that's your future and you want to fix it and you want to get out there. Like, that is the normal young adult response to the world. I think it's a good thing. It's a developmental
Yeah, sure.
thing, you know. And then once you're older, when you finally get settled and comfortable, that's when you know,
you have stuff to lose.
yeah, you have too much
Yeah.
to lose. You have a family and you have some stability and there's other people that you're responsible for. And so seeing him regret that time that he got swept up in it and went downstairs and held his sign
Yeah.
and shouted his chant, and it just sucks.
I don't think it's bad to be responsible and comfortable and protective of, like, what you have achieved and earned, but I do think it's kind of dark. Like, I think it's, and I'm not sure that there's, like, any other way, but, like, but I keep thinking back to Palmer's, like, job in the fulfillment center where, like, the AI tells him when to pee and when to eat and when to walk and when to stop, and I just think about, like, how our system provides us with big screen TVs and air conditioning so that we won't buck the system, right? And I feel like Kartov kind of had a conversation about that kind of towards the end, maybe, but, like, It may not have been him. But like you provide the people with enough thing, right? Bread and circuses. And they won't revolt, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but then there's also complacency is a problem too. You know, just because I'm safe and good over here shouldn't mean I can watch
Yeah.
the world be abused or another part of the world that I'm just too far flung from.
Yeah. This goes back to my idea of like, I don't think there's any right answers. You just have to choose the least wrong answer. And they're just all, it's all wrong answers. And that's okay. It'd be what it be. You just have to do your best. And Lily's dad was doing his best, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We haven't heard Krotov's.
Yeah, what's up with that? He keeps stringing us along.
I don't want to hear that man.
It had better be a banger.
Oh, it's
like,
not.
I want to laugh.
It's not going to be good.
No, it's not gonna be good.
That man is terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't like any question he asks. I don't like any story he tells.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like his voice. I don't like any of it. He's bad news. The Nikolai chapters make me nervous.
I think they're some of the more interesting ones.
They are. But
the sort of like quiet power broker. Because what's interesting about Nikolai is he's like as AI as human can get, right? Like he's cold and calculating, and
he's a doctor, right?
no. Yes, Nikolai's a doctor.
Yeah.
Sorry. So Krotov.
Krotov.
Right? Krotov is interesting to me because he's cold and calculating, and he is, you know, he's like this standard sort of like Soviet leader model that you want, right? Like they were trying to overcome this thing, humanity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real easy for people who are comfortable and not being attacked.
Yeah.
To not notice what's going on elsewhere.
Yeah, this would make like a good show. The sort of like episodic way of doing it with all the different characters.
Speaking of show,
Yes.
there's a movie out.
Oh yeah.
Peggy, have you seen it?
So Project Hail Mary came out.
Yeah.
We will have to see it. I've heard it's very good. True.
Yeah, who do I see as Krotov?
Interesting.
I feel like I've seen him as like a evil James Bond. That's what I see him as. Clean, smooth, but like kind of wrinkly and gross.
What about the they should take the guy from Man in the High Castle. The bad guy that we all love. I can't remember his actual name. Rufus Sewell. Just because he's like cold.
That's the main guy.
Angular.
Right? Yeah.
He'd be fun. I don't know that he'd be like the right call, but like he's just sort of like an administrative bad guy in my mind.
Yeah. Let me look him up real quick and make sure that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we think that they are trying to mess up the blank that's going to be the new leader
Yes.
in the Soviet region.
Yeah.
The only place in the world that doesn't have a PM.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so, since all the PMs around the world have failed, Krotov is hoping that his newly stated leader is going to be able to be the strong country that kind of like holds it over these broken other places. I mean, it's France, it's like all of Europe. So he's trying to leverage them to be world ruler.
Yeah, pretty much.
While the AI falls apart. Okay. I'm there. I think I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just like a lot to think about, but not a lot going on.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on, but that we don't get to see. We're not
Right.
seeing action. We're just seeing like philosophy.
I did feel like this part of the book was more philosophical, right? Like we set the stage. We had a lot of world building in the first bit that we got to talk about with some like ideas. And like I suppose really what it did was like introduce like here are some possible like tech concepts. And then in this second part we're really doing more of like the philosophy involved in those ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And in the third part we're burning it all down. Maybe.
It's all going to be, someone mentioned this last week. What's the show that we're watching from the book? The COVID book?
Station 11?
Yeah, it'll all be Station 11-y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is terrible. Sorry. I'm not bored. I'm just all congested and it made me sleepy.
Well, do you want to wrap it up here? We've gone for a good while, and I don't know that I have much else to say.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a short reading.
It was a
but
short reading.
it took a minute to get through.
Mm-hmm. You think it's going to end with a cliffhanger?
Sure. I don't think there's going to be any good resolution to this book. Just like with The Mountain and the Sea, I don't think that there was like a solid ending there. It was like, what comes next?
Yeah.
You know, like what does this lead to?
What if the new AI PM has let itself out and destroyed all the other PMs and is going to destroy itself because it's decided that like their existence is not... Like, what if it blasts everybody back to the Stone Age because it's like, you know what? The Stone Age gives you the best chance for survival.
Start over.
Yeah.
Start way over. We'll all be raised by AI. What was that Raised by Wolves show that you watched? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is just like adult version of Ark of Aside and Thunderhead and stuff. That's all this is.
At some point, we should just pick those.
Just saying. I'll let you pick it just in case everyone hates it.
Okay, fair enough.
I have enough bad marks on my list this year so far.
All right, well, let's wrap this up.
All right, bye. No, happy reading.
Yep.
Look for an announcement for our next book.
Yep.
And I hope you guys have a good time reading the rest of this book.
We'll see you next week.
Happy reading.
Bye.